So the journey starts in 2023. We are now in 2032, and it could be our time. So what is going on, guys, and welcome to today's episode. And firstly, thank you for your continued support on this series and continued support on the channel. I apologise there was no video last week if you're watching this as it's gone out, but as you know, we did have a new baby in January, and yeah, sometimes things just take over and we just get a bit busy. So we are going to recap the 2032 season. You were last with us in September, so let's go through and see exactly what has been going on since then. So we start on the under-19 league table because we won the top flight title. Now last year we won promotion from the regional division, and this year we've come straight in and won the top flight. Absolutely over the moon. That's the first time we've ever won that. First time we've looked good in the top flight. Last time we were up in the top flight, we got relegated, so happy days with that, and does show that our youth team really is on the correct path. So let's have a look at how the Europa League has been going so far. So we started off in the group stage against Shakhtar, good start, and we got 2-1 victory with Samare and Jurgensen on the score sheet, and yeah, always a nice way to start. We had to travel up to Haugesund for that home game. Hope that fixes itself soon. We then travel away from home to PSV, and we got a 2-2 draw with Samara again, both goals. A red card for Snowden was a bit of a downer on that match, without a shadow of a doubt. Travelling over to England, to Birmingham, to play Aston Villa. We ended up losing the game 2-1, but we really did hold our own, and we really did show that we can compete against anybody in this competition. And that was proven even more when we came up against one of the weaker sides in Sheriff and got a 5-0 victory. Knapskog with 2, Samare again on the score sheet, Olsen and Pinker. And we've ended the year against FC Copenhagen and Man United. So first off, Copenhagen, a 1-0 victory, Samare again on the score sheet. But I do think the game of all games, a 3-0 victory over Manchester United in Haugesund. Not very good that our biggest games ever are taking place so far away from our stadium. It's frustrating, I know. So in terms of how we've been doing in the league campaign, then after the last episode, our next game was against Odds, and we got a 2-1 victory. Sorter and Snowden on the score sheet, and that obviously kept us top of the table because, as you remember, coming into this episode, we were in first place. Victories over Stromsgodset 3-0, then Ålesund 2-0, put us in a very, very strong position. Now, we did slip up away from home to Bøder Glimt to 2-1 defeat. We did go 1-0 up, but disappointing we didn't manage to get the win there. But the results, how they've been going, meant that we were moving back into the renovated stadium in Egersund, our stadium, our first game of the season in our stadium. And we were going to be coming up against Viking Stavanger, our local rivals. So our first game back in our stadium after the redevelopment. It's against our local rivals. And a victory in this match would see us crowned league champions for the first time. We did it. We did it. We lifted the title at our own stadium in front of, I think it was 3,000, no, 4, hang on, let's go back and check. We can look at the screen now. 4,650 fans saw us crowned champions of Norway. So we ended the season with played 30, won 19, drew 5, lost 6, 62 points, 4 points clear of Sogndal, with Berda Glimt and Valerenga finishing in top 4, odds also getting European football. The biggest shock I would say is Rosenborg, who do end up finishing third bottom. They did survive, they won the playoff match, but the fact they came third bottom blows my mind. So just looking at the other leagues, you can see who came up, etc. Kongsvinger won the second tier. Lillestrøm also promoted. Jerv and Åsne going down. Dropping to the third tier here, then you can see Moss and Ranner in the playoffs. Rofos, Frigg and Sogndal's B team going down. And at this side, Flora went up alongside... Who went up also? Because Brand 2 can't go up. I think it might have just been 2 teams went up. Tromsdalen, Groyd 2 and Ollesen 2 going down. There's a lot of B teams up there, by the way. Our B team still isn't in the game. Very annoying. Very annoying. So we've ended the season as league champions. We are in 6th place at the minute, guaranteed a playoff spot in the Europa League. Things are looking very, very nice. And as we discussed, we have moved back in our stadium. Now, I want to show you something. Club board. There. Expand stadium. Completed. Added 1,550 seats. That would be nice, because that would mean that we have enough seats to play in Europe, because some of the grounds we go into don't have that many seats. Okay, so 1,550 seats. Back to the facilities. 500 seats. Did we just forget to put the other ones in? Did we just forget? What is going on? What is going on? But you can see. You can see. Let me go to it. Because I actually had the game saved for the end of season and had to resave it when this popped up a few days later. The board have announced plans to build a new stadium and are in the process of searching for suitable sites. Okay? No information at all on here about it. But when you do go into the facility side there, it's 7,387 capacity, all seated. All seated. That will mean we can play all of our European games at this stadium. No more travelling. Oh, it's just amazing. Please get that built now. I beg of you, please get it built. So a couple of things people have enjoyed looking at as we've gone through this journey. So our salary per annum is 11th at 3.1 million. Still not high at all. So much less than everybody else. We are league champions with the 11th highest salary. In terms of transfer spend, though, we have spent the most. We have spent big this year. 5 million spent. Yeah. We're not looking good for being in the plus this season, which is upsetting, but I did say I expect to make profit every single season. This looks like it's going to be a blip. And sometimes I just go hold my hands up. What I would like is to make more than 6 million profit next year, so it kind of balances out over the last 2-year period. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next 12 months. But that is something I do want to try to focus on. Now, I did want to go, oh, it looks like it's fixed. There was a very strange issue where the assist for people wasn't showing up. It seems to be all on now, which is nice. So let's go through it all, shall we? The most capped player this season is Hansen. Now we have the face packs, by the way. Can we just give me a bit of praise? I actually fixed the face packs and found face packs for all the players who were real. So Hansen, most capped, 46 appearances. Another player whose face pack I put in was Legred, so he now has his face pack as well as obviously the likes of Jurgensen, etc., getting their face pack back in. So fair play to me for finally getting that sorted. But yeah, Hansen most capped, Samare most capped this season for an outfield player. In terms of goals, 34 goals this season for Samare in 40 starts. Sorter with 7, also Knapskog with 7. In terms of assists, 2 players in double figures, Snowen and Pinker, so both of our first choice wingers, both in double figures for the season in terms of assists, which I'm really, really pleased with. Always nice to see that they are getting in double figures. Sorter with 8 and Knapskog also with 7. So Sorter and Knapskog from midfield with 7s apiece on goals and 8 and 7 for assists. Decent numbers. I am fairly pleased with that. I can accept that. In terms of the squad, as we end the 2032 season with the league title, there's some things I don't like. There are some things we dramatically need to improve. There are some things I would like to improve but aren't the most important. So central defence-wise, if we put it this way, central defence-wise, we have Laxko, who is very, very good, and aged only 19 is only going to get better. He has agreed new contract as well, so ignore the fact it runs out in just over a year. Chelseth, I don't think is going to get better. I don't think he's good enough for us, and we're probably going to look at either moving him on or dropping into our B team, something along them lines. Now, Orian Olsen, I do think is a very good defender. He's only 19. He's already been with us for 12 months now, and he really is starting to settle in to the squad and could be first choice next season. I don't have an issue with that. Another player is Damani, who does look very, very solid. 6'5" as well, would be an absolute beast in this team. 20 years old now. Could he move in and be first choice next season? Yes. Something holds me back with him, and I don't know what it is. And the final one is Jurgensen, who is probably the worst of the lot, but he came through the academy, has been with us since day one, and yeah, them type of players you just kind of find a space for, don't you? Let's be all honest on that one. If I can find a very, very talented central defender, we might make a push for a new first choice centre back. If not, I do think we have enough talent there. So that's not the most important thing to look at. Central midfield I'm a bit concerned about. So Vedvik and Hegset are our main defensive mid. Now Vedvik has been first choice since he came in. 100%. 20 years old. Looks really, really solid. But Hegset has just started to look better. Let me know what you think. Perfectionist personality. He's improving so well. Now, he could drop into central defence technically. So they both then play him. But I would almost say we would be losing a bit of him if we drop him in central defence. Not sure. Let me know what you think on that. In terms of central midfielders, we've got Larsen, Knapskog, we've got Nestrup, and then Sorter, who technically is a striker. So I think we need someone in central midfield. Is Knapskog still good enough to be our first choice centre mid? Yes. He came through the academy, which obviously means I want to try to give him that extra time, give him the extra lives, shall we say, to keep getting better. Nestrup, I think, is very talented, really good first touch, good passing. He plays well. Again, he's only 20. I have been reaching him as a left back as well. Is he good enough to be a first choice centre mid in a Champions League team? That's where I think there might be an issue. So I do think we really do need to address central midfield. I think we need one, maybe two players. I think now we've won the title, we are going into the Champions League group stage next season, guaranteed. If we go into qualification places, you can see we are guaranteed a Champions League group phase spot. So we are in the Champions League group stage next year. So we need to look, I think, at a very good central midfielder. And the final thing to look at is striker. So we have Sorte can play striker, but he's been playing centre mid for us on attack. You can see 31 games in centre mid, 1 as striker this season. We have Samara, who's picked up 34 goals and is just very, very talented. Lacks a worker, which I don't like, but apart from that, he's been really good. Apart from that, we have Torsvinger, who I've been trying to get his personality fixed all year, and it's just not been adjusting. I think I made a mistake paying him such a high wage to keep him. He was unsure about staying at the time. I don't know. But striker-wise, we're just short. But the issue I have as well, though, now is we need to find a striker who's willing to come in and be back up to Samare. Because Samare is going to be our first choice next year. There's clubs after him. He's not going anywhere. I'm putting my foot down on that. I want him for at least another year. And then by that point, we're a Champions League squad, a Champions League team, hopefully league champions again, or if not top 2. That should convince him to stay. It's difficult at the minute, and I'm excited and nervous to see how we're going to push on. Going into next season, we'll look at our youngsters and see how they are developing and see who's stepping up, who has a chance throughout next season to step up. It's exciting to see where we're going to go. I think one of the issues I have at the minute as well is Bastions, who I just think is such a good player. Been with us for so long. But he wants to leave if a bid of 2.9 million comes in. I would love him to stay. I'd love him to stick around. He's been with us for 4 years now, going to his 5th season next year. He must be close to gaining citizenship as well. Days to gain, so he's got 800 days left, so a couple of years left. Well, just under 3 years left, but I don't want him to leave. But he's just kicking off, and I've agreed. Look, if we get a deal of 2.9 million in, I'll sell you. 2.9 million is nothing. It's so upset now we could lose him for 2.9 million. Oh, it's so upsetting. It is so upsetting. So looking at how things have gone as the Norway manager then since you were last with us. So we started off against Ireland and lost the game 1-0 before beating Bulgaria 2-0. 1-1 draw away to Czech Republic before beating Bulgaria 4-0, Ireland 3-0, and Czech Republic 3-0, which saw us win the UEFA Nations League Group B and take us up into Group A. So, nice start as manager. And, hands up, my hands are up, we have been a little bit biased here. So, Hansen, our goalkeeper, now has 6 caps for Norway. It's weird that. Wasn't even in the squads before we took over. Now he seems to be in around. Vedvik, our defensive mid, weirdly, has 6 caps as well now. Pinker now has 5 caps. Again, wasn't in the squad before I came in. Snowen, 4 caps, 1 goal. Wasn't in the squad before I came in. It's going to keep going. Jørgensen has 3 caps for Norway now. Came through the academy, 26 years old. He's now just been capped a few times. And Knapsku with 3 caps as well. We spoke about it. You guys said it was a good idea, so don't come back at me. Oh, and also Hegset has picked up 3 caps now as well. And also Olsen has 2 caps. So, hands up. We've capped a few people in our first few months of Norway manager, but it was worth it, you know? It was worth it. Another thing I want to point out is I want to mention, what was it that I wanted to mention? I honestly have no idea what I was about to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of the other things I wanted to show you, which was shortlists, and I want to go to our Patreons, because we have a new Patreon, but this person who has subscribed has done it directly on YouTube. If you enjoy content, if you watch the series, watch the channel, you do have an option below to join the channel, I think the option is, and that means you pay monthly as a subscription to basically show your support towards me. And Rodolfo Pereira Lima Torres is our latest patron. He is so we've now created him in the game. He is a Barcelona, came through the Barcelona Academy. 18 years old. He is Norwegian as well, so could become our national team goalkeeper, or at least a backup. He has potential. He has a lot of potential, and playing at Barcelona, I think he could really push on. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do. You can see he started at Old Kisser, and Barcelona must have, where players get poached. But Rodolfo is in the game, and we are going to follow how he is doing. And also, Dan Finch, by the way, is transfer listed, but he's not interested in coming to me, which is very annoying. Our Faroe Islands International Dan Finch, the Patreon member, link is in the description of Patreon if you want to support that way. You will get put into the game as a new Nugent, 18 or younger, when I find the best one to suit you. And yeah, Dan is looking decent. He's been around, started Copenhagen, went to Napoli, Lille, Toulouse, now at Fiorentina. He's just never kicked on, and I would love to have him as one of our striking options next season, but he's just never interested. I think it's because on such a high wage at Fiorentina, we can't even get close to matching that. But I would like to bring him in. I think one day I would like to always have our patrons, at least for one season at the club, and just see them in our world, to be honest with you. So fingers crossed on that. But we are Norwegian League champions. I apologise it wasn't done live com, but at the time of the match I had a baby in my arms watching me win the league title, so couldn't record it. I don't feel guilty. I was holding my daughter. Thank you for watching, and I will see you as we start the 2033 season. Remember, second episode of every season, we now recap the European campaigns for the teams in Europe, have a look at the coefficients, etc., etc. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.